Hi everybody, hope you're okay, hope you're well. Yes, the title of this video is something along the lines of we've cancelled, and we have. It's not clickbait. We have cancelled our trip away for this weekend. Now, how many times have you been to a Facebook group, a discussion forum, or a Discord server, or anywhere where people can add their comments to? How many times have you seen it where somebody has asked the question, what's the maximum wind speed you would tow in? What's the worst weather you would have towed in? What's the weather you've towed in before? And it's a very interesting topic. I have been asked this question numerous times by numerous people, and I must be honest with you, I take it case by case. Now, last year I filmed a video with Fliss, the trailer lady, and Caravan. By the way, you must go and subscribe to both those channels because they're both excellent. I would say that because, well, whatever. And Fliss gave some really great advice. I'll put a link to this video down below, actually, because the whole topic was towing in bad weather conditions. And we listed out a number of different weather conditions, and wind was one of them. And Fliss gave some excellent advice. It's not so much the wind speed which gets you, it's the gusts, because you can't see them, you can't predict them, you don't know what direction generally they're going to be coming from. Whereas if a National Express coach is going to overtake you, which they always do, because have you ever seen a National Express in the slow lane? No, me neither. When they overtake you, you can brace for it, you can move the unit slightly over, you can be ready for it, you can be on the throttle and you're going to anticipate what's about to happen. But of course, when they go past you, it sort of pulls you around a little bit. That's fine because you know it's going to happen. But of course, a gust of wind, you have no prediction, you have no knowledge of which way it was coming. I towed once before in a storm many moons ago with the Ridgeway, and we were coming back from, I think it was Lincoln Farm Park, that's right, because it was on the A420, and we were towing on the Sunday back, and it was the middle of a storm, and by Jove, that was windy. It was horrendous. I remember getting back to the storage yard here, and I remember saying to the family something along the lines of, golly gosh, what silly wind that was. I'm certainly delighted that little journey is over with. I think it was a little bit bluer than that, to be honest with you. There was a few F's and Jeffs in there, and I remember feeling extremely shaken because it was an awful tow back. Worst tow I've ever experienced in my life. And since then, I've been pretty cautious, actually, in towing in various wind conditions. Now, where we were going this weekend was Cirencester. Not a million miles away, not very far away, but the route that we would have to take, it leaves us pretty exposed. The motorway is pretty exposed, the A road up there, it's pretty flat land, and there's an airport as well just outside of Cirencester, which is very flat land and notorious for crosswinds. And I just don't want to take the risk. I just don't think or need or want to assume that it's worth taking the risk. If I'm going to stay away from that, I might as well just cancel and move it to another date, which is exactly what we've done. I will say though, it's not just the wind which has put me off going this weekend. The rain is forecast to be horrendous. I know that the timings on the weather app on Friday, when we'd be hitching up here about 2 o'clock, it's absolutely lashing down with rain. By the time we arrive, I know it's still lashing down with the rain. And then Saturday it cools off a little bit and it's a little nicer. Great, we can do something. Then Sunday, when we're packing up to go home, it's lashing down with rain. Now, rain doesn't bother me too much, but when it's constant like that, yeah, it's not a great time to be away. And also, this weekend was only going to be about me doing a few jobs that required us to be connected to power and water. So I can put that off for another time. Hopefully, fingers crossed, when it's a bit warmer. So that's the reason why we've cancelled. It's a question, and it's a question that I'm asked a lot, but like I said, I take it on a case-by-case basis. If it looks like it's going to be bad, and I know that the storm this weekend is not going to hit us directly, I know it goes to the north of the country, but it's still going to be bloody windy and gusty around here. I mean, the local weather reports are saying between 50 and 60 miles an hour inland, and I know that where we're going, we will feel that, especially on the route up there. So I'm just going to say no. It's just not worth it. But I'm going to ask you the question. Would you tow in weather conditions this weekend? Would you tow in storm conditions? And what would your advice be? I know that Fliss's advice was invaluable, which is just slow down, get off the main roads, you get yourself into sheltered roads, you know, like through towns, etc. Just keep it off, you know, away from any main trunk roads which are exposed. Keep a firm but not tight grip to the steering wheel, and always be pulling. And that's a good tip, actually. Always be pulling. Don't let the throttle off. Make sure you're always pulling, not speeding, but pulling, to make sure that the Caravan can then just be pulled into line. Great tips, great advice. And I followed that advice, actually, and it's been so far so good. But there we go. Let me know your comments down below. I'd love to know what speed limit or wind speed limit you would consider not towing in. There we go. Many thanks for watching, everybody. Please do hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon, and if you can do all of that, maybe you'll see us in Cirencester when we do finally get to go. Anyway, see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.